YouTube, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome to another Become Better, More Money. It's your boy, JB Waters, aka Waters for short. I appreciate everybody for checking in with me, tapping in today. Thank you for hitting that thumbnail. Y'all already know how I am. I don't like to do all of the long introductions and everything like that. But before we get started, y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share. Sharing is caring. If you caring, you sharing. You know how I feel about that. With all of that out the way, let's get going. I know y'all seen the title, so I don't have to say nothing about that, but y'all know me. If y'all never been on my channel before, welcome. And if you have been and you're a subscriber, thank you very, very much. I think we like at 165, y'all. Come on, talk to them. Shouts out to all the people that's been here since 75, 30, all of that. But man, I had to do it, y'all. I had to do it. I had to, because here on Become Better, More Money, we are all about getting rich, becoming financially free, having more money, which equals the freedom, which equals the physical freedom, which equals the options and time with your family and doing the things that you want to love. But we're getting to those things by way of becoming a better person first. So I had to address this whole TikTok ban, this whole TikTok is back. Is it going away? Why is it here? And the reason why the title is what the title is because I want you to realize that you should not be worried about if TikTok is banned and if TikTok is staying or leaving, if Instagram Reels is leaving, if Facebook's leaving, if YouTube is leaving at all. If you're not in a place to where your personal life outside of the internet and outside of social media and outside of being able to engage the world in a digital form is not in the right place. So that is the reason why I came up with this video today, and I wanted to tap in and harp on a few things. The first thing is honestly seeing and talking about the current state of where we're at. And I want to be able to bang all of this out, y'all, within 15 minutes. So let's go. Here we go. So right now, currently, in my opinion, I think we are in the time where short form content is the thing, right? Everybody knows Reels. It started with Snapchat, really, to be in my opinion. We could say Snapchat really took it off, because then we can go back and say things like Vine and everything, where there was still like little short clips and all that. But that is the norm. And that is what people is used to. Technology has gotten people to where our attention spans are shorter, and we're not really paying attention to what that is doing to us on a neurological level. And by us not paying attention to what that is doing to us on a neurological level, we are actually becoming guinea pigs, and we're becoming lab rats to the tests that are being done on everybody who is engaging these media platforms, who are engaging these digital platforms. And when you don't understand what the product is, you end up being the product. And a lot of people don't get that. When you don't know what is being sold, you're probably the thing that is being sold, and you are the product. And if you're okay with that, fine. But I think a lot of people don't understand how important it is for them to get a grasp, on where they stand in this, because most people are opinionated without having actions to follow through on their opinions. As in, most people are people who want to complain about something but don't want to change what they're complaining about. For instance, people want to complain about how much they're getting paid, but they don't want to change the fact that, hey, let me become more skillful so I can actually get paid more. Or let me say, fuck a job, and let me go use my God-given talents to leverage those things to figure out how to bring value to society so I can pay myself via entrepreneurship, via starting your own business. So that's what I mean in that. So if you are like most people, and hopefully anybody who is like that, that's feeling that, it's okay. The only thing that matters to me is if you're like that and you're willing to evolve and change and identify where you're at. If you're not, and that's just a personal problem, this channel is probably not from you, and you probably didn't even make it past this point right here, and that's okay. Nice to see you. Thank you for coming. But everybody else who's staying and understanding that, and it is y'all, all those people who do want to become better and actually care about seeing something, complaining about it, or not even complaining about it and wanting to make a change, then this is important for you to realize that this is where we're at within society right now. And the short form content is the norm. The stories, the reels, like I said, the Snapchats, all of the, hey, 15 seconds, you get this, 15 seconds. And the world is becoming a lot faster, but the people who is creating this fast pace is actually the people who actually spend the time on long form content. That's the thing that you're gonna get. The people that is creating this short form content that is actually making your attention span shorter, they actually spend time on long form content, like reading books, like reading white papers that are actually about educational and research things. The people who is creating TikTok, creating YouTube, creating Facebook, all these people, you know the names, I ain't gotta say it. Those people read books. They went to college, they read books. If they didn't go to college, they're reading books. Guarantee you, they do not fall victim to the short form stuff, and they're not the people who are having mental health issues due to short form content being watched. I promise you that. I will put my life on that. Honestly, strike me down today. For real. They're not. And that's the thing I think people don't understand, is that if you don't see that you're what the product is and you're the product, then you need to figure out how to be able to become valuable within the thing that you are the product in. And I'm going to get to that next. But I want people to understand the first thing is seeing that the short-term form that we're in is detrimental to people in ways that we can't even understand. All the things. So if you're not in a place to where your life is together, you should not be tripping about if TikTok is staying or not, unless you are making money in your mental health to the money that you're making is good. And that's, in my opinion, those are the two things. If you're making money off of these things and your mental health is well, then you should be concerned, if anything, about them somewhat. Because one, hey, it's your way of making your living. And two, you're making a living, and then making a living is making you a better person. To me, I don't give a fuck how much money you make. If you're depressed, if you want to kill yourself, if you feel like you hate life, if you feel like you're using drugs, if you feel like you're buying things for the sake of trying to fill a void and compensating for something that's missing that you really want to have on a spiritual level, making money, it does not matter. And you know I'm gonna stand for that, because this has become better, more money. So if you are not making money, and making money from those things is leading you to having better mental health, and or if you already have good mental health and you're making money from TikTok, then who gives a fuck? You should not be worried about if it's banned or if it's here or not, or anything, if it's YouTube, anything, because you're not in a place to even spend your time on those things. You don't even have the bandwidth to spend your time on those things. So boom, I got that out. If you're not in a good place, you should not be worried about the ban. You should not be worried about social media. The second thing, and I kind of mentioned this first, we are in a time that people do not see the future. As in, the goal is to get you to not think, so you don't understand how much you can be and how much you can get. Because if everybody was a producer, then who would consume? And I know it sounds crazy, y'all. Trust me, I know it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy. It does, because you think there's a perfect world, right? Where it's like, well, everybody has money, so the people who has money are the people who can buy things. No, it doesn't work that way. Because why do you think majority of the products that we use in America are made in China? Because in China, everybody over there is not a producer. Everybody over there is a consumer. And they're producing because they have to, because their government and country is not the same as ours. So they're getting paid bullshit, compared to what they should be getting paid. But that doesn't mean they're a producer. It seems like they're producing. But when I mean producing systems. Those people are just small parts of a system. The producers are the ones who create the systems. And then everybody else within the production are the consumers. As in, you take your measly little check and you go home and you live your life. You buy your soap, you buy your water, you buy your necessities for life. And if you do have a spark within you to want to be able to be a real producer, then you're allocating your time and your money to something that can be produced with the intent of becoming a system, like the system that you're working for, which I'll lead to that in a second. So I want y'all to understand too, you're not understanding the future to what is being built right now. And then people have the nerve to sit back and be like, oh, the wealth gap is this. These people have so much money. These people are not doing this. The rich are doing this. You're not, you want to have all this shit to say about policies. But then what the fuck are you doing with your time on the day to day? What are you stressing about? What are you worried about? What are you posting about? What are you researching on YouTube? What do you search on a daily? Why does one person have one thing and another person have another thing? They both get two different results. And I keep saying that. And I keep saying it. And somebody in the comments, I don't know your name. I know it went back to you. Yes, you are right. There is so many more situations determined that are more than that. You are absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But let's say we all had the same resources and the exact same tools. Then what would make people different? Our fucking choices. That's it. If we all were given the exact same thing from the beginning, same house, same amount of weight, same skin color. Let's just say we were both given the exact same thing. And once we start off with the race, nobody can influence our choices and influence what we do besides ourselves. If everybody's put on the even field, then what will make you different? Your choice. So that's what's important. That kind of leads back to the first thing I just said. If you're not in a place to worry about these things and they're not serving you, then you shouldn't be worried about them anyway. And then secondly, you don't understand how you're fitting in this overall big program that's being made. That's been made a long time ago since we first really understood like the real people. And I say we because I feel like I think like a lot of the elite in the world. I just have a good heart and want to do something great with it. But once we really understood the power of seeing the influence that comes digitally, once people understood that, it was over with. It was over with. It was over with. Because even when the TV was on, there was no TV to where you can go on the TV and you can talk to the TV guy. Like it was none of that. It wasn't that. So I'm really saying digital influence that was actually two-way. Because in the TV, it's like, oh, I turn the TV on, the newscaster talking to me, and I can't say nothing back to him. He don't know what the fuck I'm saying. If I'm talking, I'm just talking to a screen, but he can't hear me. But the moment that we actually had some back and forth digital interaction to where you can go on and say, hey, you know what? I want to say something to this median and I can actually get a response in real time, whether it's through a like, whether it's through a comment, whether it's through actually how I'm talking to y'all right now. This was pre-recorded, but I can easily go on live and we actually have a real live digital influence. And the moment that happened, the moment they start really realizing, okay, everybody can be put into their box now because we're going to see people's true colors regardless. You can't fake it. You can try to fake online and fake what you do like or fake what you don't like, but the algorithm knows. That's why when people look at their algorithm after a week or 2 months or even 2 years for some people and finally wake up and they're like, damn, what the fuck is all of this shit coming up on my algorithm? I don't like none of this. Well, you remember that day that you chose it and you liked it? Remember that day that you picked it for a couple of days and you looked at it and you got lost in those scrolls? You got lost in that 30 stories that you looked at. Y'all don't see the finesse? If one Instagram story, one Instagram reels is 1 minute, or if you watch a YouTube short for 1 minute and you do that 30 times, that's 30 minutes. But imagine what that did. Imagine how the Instagram and imagine how the algorithm and YouTube received that. In your mind, you was just lost in space for 30 minutes, but the data took it way different than you did. So the first thing I understand, you shouldn't be worried about this shit if you're not in the right place, if you're not making money off these platforms and you're not doing it from a healthy perspective. Secondly, you need to realize where you stand in this overall game, in this digital war that's about to go down, in this attention span war that's about to go down, this attention span war that's been going on for a long time. And I will make a video just to give y'all a little, you know what I'm saying, sneak peek. Last time I did a video, these for y'all reference, these little segments where I'm not doing to become better directly for the one-on-ones, I just consider these to be words with waters. We just catching the vibe, giving y'all something on the top of my dome. But I will give y'all a little hint for the next become better. It will have to do with attention span. So I want y'all to pay attention to the attention span and the things that is going on right now and how you sit in it. And how you sit in it and how your attention span is equivalent to being able to see the power of a value of life. Fuck $1. A value of your life is gone. You can watch 30 reels and you don't even know what you got out of those motherfuckers. And that was just 30 minutes of your life. And let's see how much, and then if you want to talk about it, how much it has to do with money, most people only make $30 an hour. So you really look at the real value now, okay? And lastly, what I wanted to talk about is being able to truly leverage these things. Leverage them as in start using your time for these short form content and these short form platforms to actually start seeing how you can change the algorithm and change what you're ingesting at a small amount of time, because it's a tool, y'all. So one person can go and watch 30 stories or 30 reels and treat it for entertainment purposes and feel like they really didn't get nothing out of it. It's a couple of geeky ha-ha-ha-has, and that's cool. That's cool. That is cool, bro. Laughing is cool to have. Laughing is medicine, whether you broke, poor, rich, whether you a nice guy or a mean guy, nice girl or a mean girl. But if you really not in a place to do that, fuck that shit some of the time. Sometimes you just gotta get serious, get down to the nitty gritty and get it done. And you need to be consistent with your time. Time management, that's another Become Better. Y'all go check that one out. And I got the playlist in the description. But I want to tell you, the exact same way that you can spend 30 minutes watching 30 stories, you can spend 30 minutes watching 30 stories that gave you $3,000 worth of game. They gave you $30,000 worth of knowledge. So the last thing I want to tell y'all is to really reverse and change the tables and be like, you know what? They created these systems. And some of these systems could mess me up because most people's attention spans are getting shorter. And the people who really created these short form contents and created all of this stuff, they really are intelligent and they focus on long form content, like long ass books, deep ass books, you know, long ass lectures and seminars that are hours long, instead of just these little quick little, you know, small doses of dopamine and endorphins that you get through this short content that you get, and really you ain't getting none out of it. Flip it up and be like, you know what? I'm gonna ingest as much knowledge and as much knowledge-based information I can get. I'm gonna ingest as much motivation I can get. I'm gonna ingest as much positive energy I can get in this small amount, and just get your doses in. The exact same way I talked about in my last video, microtask. So be able to understand that's the power of being able to see it. Y'all can make these little stories, y'all little microtasks. And if y'all never known or read or heard my stories in the past, my videos in the past, I talk about microtasks being tasks that you can do that don't take a lot of bandwidth, just to say that you did it and got it done to build a habit. A micro task, to me, in my opinion, is no longer than 5 minutes. Literally, it's 3 to 5 minutes. 7 to 10, you starting to get to the mid micro task size, where it get a little bit longer. But 3 to 10 minutes max. And you can do that same thing when you're watching 30 stories or 30 YouTube shorts at the exact same time. At the exact same time, but you're doing it for something that can actually give you something out of those 30 minutes instead of watching this short term. Because you got to realize, short form content is fucking your brain up anyway. So if you're watching short form content, and if you're watching short form content, that's what my little babies be calling brain rot. You know, I got an 11-year-old and a 14-year-old. And if you're watching like dumb stuff that ain't really serving you and giving you great knowledge and increasing your brain power and increasing your overall value in the marketplace, in the world, then you're double fucking yourself. You're already messing yourself up on a neurological level by consuming a lot of short form content. And then if you consuming short form content that really doesn't serve you any, but beyond the little entertainment, then you're really not getting nothing out of it, y'all. So I'm a little bit over than the 15 minutes I said, but that's really why I said, if you're not doing any of the things that I just mentioned, you really fucking up. You shouldn't be dealing with none of this. You're missing out on truly what you should be doing in general and in life, but especially with YouTube shorts, Instagram reels, Instagram stories, TikTok, Snapchat, any short form content. It's really gonna put you in a place, not you, the world, and all of those who don't understand what it is, to where they're not getting as much they can get out of it, and you're gonna really be fucked in the end. So hopefully that gives y'all some type of motivation to understand that, hey, man, I'm not in a public place in my life right now to be worried about this short-term form content. I need to be spending my time on growing my brain. I'm not in a place to be worried about if TikTok gonna be here or not, you know, and especially if I am making money from TikTok, am I even happy with the money that I make? I need to work on my mental health. I need to work on my spirituality right now. I need to work on everything I got going on and really being able to focus on my life, you know, and really being able to harp on everything I got going on. So that's what I wanted to share with y'all. That's the little information I want to give y'all. Really appreciate y'all for following through, coming through and connecting with me and being able to take the time. Once again, y'all go check those other videos out, Become Better 101. We'll be coming back with some more stuff soon. Really, really appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for checking in with me. And remember to stay well, be conscious, and write your world into existence.